Remember studying Cornel West? And Cornel West is black ideologist and sociologist, now at Princeton, was at Harvard, says so well that when he looks at the delinquency in the African American youth, when he sees how much crime they commit, and they do commit crime at a high level, he says, you have to understand what the problem is. That they grow up in a society which has a media that convinces them they have to have these $90 Nikes. They have to have these clothes, this sweatsuit, this. They have to have all of these consumer goods. And when a society, says Robert Merton, the sociologist, prescribes goals that everybody has to reach and provides no legitimate means for reaching those goals, then what happens is that people will find illegal and illegitimate means to reach those same goals. What we've got to do as Christians is challenge the goals that society has established, not only for us, but for people who don't have the money to buy all this stuff. It's bad enough that we buy stuff we don't need, but what about the people that don't have any money, who have that same hunger that we have? Because the media is non-discriminatory. It makes everybody want the same things, and here's a group of people who have no means of getting it. And so you have kids getting beaten up and actually murdered on the streets so that somebody can steal their sneakers and play basketball because the media convinced them that they won't ever be Michael Jordan unless they have those Nike sneaks.
And it's so seductive because not only is the culture marketed, but the counterculture is also marketed. Yes. And so you have this seduction where the answer to is not just a pop counterculture where you can go buy a ripped jeans at Hot Topic or something like that, but because in the city, you can tell the poorest kids often because they have the nicest clothes, the gold chains, the cell phones, the least, SUV. And in the suburbs, you can tell the richest kid by how poor they look because they don't want to look like their parents. They wear the ripped jeans, the punk rock, mohawk and everything. But it's all still very marketed and still very hungry for imagination, I think. And I think that part of what we need is that peculiarness to the culture that the Amish have and the Mennonites, because they say, you can imagine even Jewish Amish kids that are growing up, there's that peculiarness that they're like, why do we eat like this? Why do we dress like this? Because we're a little different. We're set apart from this world, and we live in it, but we're a little different from it. So we have a different way of looking at evil. We have a different way of looking at what we buy and how we live. And I think that's that peculiarness that, all the way back to John the Baptist, that there's something different that people are drawn to. And they're drawn from the centers of the market and power to try to figure out how to live a little bit more within God's dream.